Turn it over.
We want to give everyone a couple minutes to get in.
Yeah, yeah, we give them a couple minutes. I'm gonna come back once they come in, and if
Uh,
not, we'll proceed and record it, and it'll be available for them. Okay,
all
we
right.
got. Okay. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Willie Hardy, Director of Student Support Services. We're here with the staff. Um, Ms. Porch and Ms. Zollicoffer and Mr. Powell. And today we have a workshop / information session on academic advising. Um, we will have a guest speaker to come in a shortly, but before we get started, I just kind of wanted to touch bases on a few items. One, if you haven't seen your advisor, your SSS advisor this semester, please stop by, contact them, or fill out the forms. Hopefully you have those electronic forms, the academic advancement plan, and the contract. You're required to fill those out every semester, just to meet the requirements. And then we want to touch bases and see how you're doing in your classes and those type of things. Also, for those of you who are on Pell Grant, we will be releasing, if you don't already have it, the grant aid application. Okay, that is paid out in April. Okay, so please start to complete those forms and attend the workshops and meet all of the other requirements to hopefully receive those funds. We've had 2 great years of disbursements. Almost 30, I think 31 last year, if I'm not mistaken, and 29 the year prior. And we gave out each student last year received almost $1,000. So don't miss the opportunity. Check to see if you are on Pell Grant. If you have any questions, you can come see us and we can help you out with that. Or you can go by financial aid. They can help you out as well. Okay. So, but it's a great opportunity you don't want to miss. So I think that was all I wanted to. Oh, no. We also have coming up next month, a month from today, we'll be traveling to Elizabeth City State University, and we will be touring that campus. We eat lunch on the campus, so you be able to get a good idea of what the culture is like. And then almost a month later, April the 9th, we'll be touring Old Dominion University, and we will cruise on the Spirit of Norfolk tour, which is like a warship museum tour, right? So it's a 2-hour cruise, lunch cruise. We eat lunch on the boat. So it's a nice experience. But in order to attend, you must have completed all of the requirements up until that point. Okay. So also, if you have friends who are not student support services, who may be interested in any of these activities, please encourage them to apply. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Powell, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Good day, everybody. Hope everyone's having a blessed one. My name is Keith Powell. I'm your TRIO Student Development Advisor here. And what the topic of the day is, we're going to go over academic advising. Um, who, I got a couple of my lists. I was going to ask some questions, but I always start off with like a little icebreaker. But who could tell me what they know about academic advising? Mr. Purnell, want to care to give me some of your feedback? Probably busy, but it's good. But what is academic advising? From what I've gathered, the definition of academic advising varies slightly from one resource to the next. But in general, it involves guiding students to ensure that they achieve their desired outcomes while attending a given school and or university. Why does academic advising matters? Academic advising plays a crucial component in achieving a student's degree and starting with your own career. In general, it involves guiding students to their desired outcome. This could start in secondary schools or, I mean, let me see, Mr. Purnell. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Yes, Mr. Purnell. And not only it does with secondary schools, and secondary schools are the middle and high school. So I know we all had like the academic advisor, or sometimes they were considered counselors. When I was in my day, it was considered counselors. They didn't have academic advisors, but they would go around and ask us what do we plan to do after high school, and what career field, or are we going to pursue higher learning, or the military. Those were the things with the was the secondary schools, the academic advising. They would try to see, well, what did we do? How was our grade point average, and how can we set about making those goals come to fruition. Now, in the post-secondary, which is your community colleges and universities, we academic advising plays a much stronger role, in my opinion, in my eyes. It plays a much stronger role because at the end of the day, they're going to be the ones to sign off on you graduating, as I always tell the students. But what would you get out of academic advising? Academic advising can help you with your academic planning, decision making, and problem solving. With planning, I know when the students come in, when they come to see myself, Mr. Hardy, Ms. Zolikoff, or Ms. Porch, they come in not knowing, and that's a lot of first year college students. When what we do, they they don't know. There are a lot of people, they don't know how to maneuver through the college life as as the next person may. So what we do as TRIO and the success coaches and the academic advisors, we tend to help the students plan what they want to do. We ask questions like, what do you want to do? How do you see yourself? And we get a lot of I don't know, so we always do the little career assessment, and that really is a big help because we have a lot that doesn't know. Pardon the phone, but we also have a lot that does not know what they may want to major in, or um or do per se. And you have some people that are skillful with their hands. They may want to work in the automotive, or for, as far as ladies, the cosmetology department, or they want to be, or they have a tinkering for computers. We also recommend IT. So that's what the planning long lines goes about, and decision makings. Try to help them make those decisions. because there's a lot of indecisiveness. Because when I was in school, I was indecisive about what I wanted to do, and it was a broad array of things that I wanted that I loved, but I chose the field of communications, public relations, which without my academic advisors, I don't know how could I achieve that. And also problem solving. Problem solving, we there's a lot of things that comes up. And I mean, in each of us, in my life, there's things that we don't know that we may need to fall back on someone. There's times I had to fall back on Miss Z, Miss Olikoff, or Miss Porch and Mr. Hardy. I mean, there's things I don't. If I don't get it, we gotta have to come together as a tangible team, and we solve it. That's what the academic advisors are here for, to help you with that problem solving. If it's a issue with a instructor, or you having technical issues, we have the IT. You just gotta let your advisors know. I always stress this. I know Mr. Hardy, I've heard him. I definitely heard Ms. Z through the walls, saying that it's about, always speak to your academic advisors. And Ms. Forge, she does the same thing with the students. It's not us trying to pass the buck. We want you to have that what's the word I'm looking for? Rapport with the with your academic advisors, because there's a lot of students that don't know who their academic advisors are, that and we have to tell them. We they So that tells me that they don't go and see them, which is that just not really good. You got to know who they is. Okay. Navigating your way to the higher education, like I said, can be stressful. It can even be overwhelming. I know it was overwhelming with me. I always put that back on me. It was I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about college coming up or anything, but your advisor can help ease that transition by giving you the tools you need to be successful. Advisors can teach you how to make your academic decisions gathered by gathering information. That goes back to what I was saying earlier, when we ask the students, what do you want to do? What do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years? Do you see yourself going to a 4-year institution after you leave here, or do you plan on being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, or you just go and do something and work with people? There's a lot of non for profits, and that's what we would tend to do. We gotta gather the information, and for them to make informed choices.
And I'll jump in too, Mr. Powell, just to kind of I don't know, add my 2 cents. Academic advising, I think for one good word to kind of, that's synonymous with academic advising, is a guide. We're like an academic guide for you. There's a lot of processes that are in place that would assist a student trying to navigate through higher ed. It will be to your benefit to know it prior to actually having to go through it. Case in point, uh, the 67% rule. Okay. If you don't pass 67% of the courses that you register for, then you will be placed on academic probation. That I would rather know that beforehand versus not knowing, right? You get to, you want to transfer, but you only have 15 transferable hours. It's a 24 transferable hour minimum, right? And the GPA of 2.0, 2.5. And then some other institutions, depending on the major, could be different, right? I think for NC State, for certain, so I think an engineering program, I believe is 30 transferable hours and a 3.0. So these are the type of things you would want to know prior to actually getting to the point of being in that position, right? Because there could be a recipe for disaster. So, and that's the role of an academic advisor, is virtually a guide. So, just wanted to add that on, Mr. Powell. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. And like you said, it's also a powerful guide. Would Ms. Porch or Ms. Zollicoffer, would you care to add on to what myself and Mr. Hardy about academic advising? What do you think?
I can add on a little bit. One thing about academic advising is the fact that many times, like you said earlier, students really attribute academic advising to the student support service staff. And they sometimes forget that they actually have academic advisors who oversee their program. And sometimes because they're not able to get with them, they immediately come to us as a resource. And we are a resource, but it's important that all students get to really, really know their academic advisors. And then not only that, we do have some new advising centers coming on campus, and they're getting set and ready to make sure our main goal, everybody's main goal here on campus, is to make sure the students walk across that stage with a degree where they can actually go and get a job, or a degree where they can move to the next level of their education. That is our goal. So everyone is focused on making sure that that is what students are able to do, and that those resources and support systems are put in place to make sure that you cross the stage, that you reach your goal. And so we're all on the same page. And one thing that I have learned that students have a very hard time um, is asking for the assistance that they need. And then many times, even if they don't know that they need assistance, they're not sure where to go. And so my thing is to always make sure that students feel very, very comfortable to come and ask a question. You should never ever let a question go unanswered. And so, student support services, we're here to put supports in place for you to make sure you achieve your goals. Make sure you ask a question. Make sure you ask a question, because we're here to help. Everybody is for you. We're all for you. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Zia. Really appreciate that. Um, yes, and I want to beg the question of what does an academic advisor do? So, well, for one, they conduct, they could, like I said, they ease the transition by organizing um, orientation sessions. Students should come in and feel confident when they meet with their academic advisors. Another one is, I think this is a real important one from what I've seen when I got her. They inform the students of school policies. This goes back to what Mr. Hardy has said earlier about the 60% rule. Is that right? About
67%.
the what?
67%.
67%. Yes. So definitely there's the advisors always let the students know, and I really appreciate what the advisors here do. They always let the students know what they need to know, what they need to have in order to be successful, to graduate. Like especially, and I'm gonna use use their department as an example, like the nursing department. We have Miss Santiago as one of the advisors, and I forgot the other one.
She's dental. Miss Santiago is dental.
Miss Santiago's dental. I forgot her name that quick, but yes, but she um but they was telling me when they advised, they always let the students know that they have to have certain GPA, like 2.0 or better, and that's a highly competitive a field. And that's why they always keep the students informed of the policies of what they need to do, what the students need to bring to the table. They need to really bring their A game, which I can really respect. And that's something we always inform the students of the policies of what we expect of them, what TRIO expects of our students, because I'm I'm a stickler for like the grades. I'm up here the second thing I do every morning, the first thing I check my email, but the second thing I do, I get on this watermark. I'm looking at these alerts and I'm reading them, and I'm gonna see if there are any absences, falling GPAs, work's not turned in. I'm gonna be on that phone, or more or less I'm gonna send emails asking what's going on, what can I do to help, and I know my team, Mr. Hardy, Ms. Porch, and Ms. Z has done the same, because that's one of the things we want to keep these students informed of everything that we do, and understanding another requirement that the academic advisors do is they let the students understand their understanding the graduation requirements that they must meet. And like I said, you got to have a 2.0 or better. I would like to be up there to like a 3.5 myself personally, but 2.0, I would like for them to maintain that so they can graduate and walk across the stage as Ms. Z has stated, informing the
Mr.
students.
Bell.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't I mean interrupt you, but
Oh,
I do want to kind of leave give some points where I think students I kind of started off with some of those with the 67%, but just some items that would be beneficial to the students as they are going through going through their semester. And so these are points that we will cover, some points that we would cover in a meeting. Sometimes we have a meeting just for one specific point. I say, for example, a transfer. So I mentioned the 67% rule, and I restate that, which says that if you apply for four classes, or I'm sorry, if you get registered for four classes and they total 12 hours, all right. And to my knowledge, the hours don't matter. I think it's the classes. Now I could be wrong. I had to double check that. But let's just for now, four classes. And if you drop two of those classes, you are not in compliance with the 67% rule because you did not pass 67% of your classes that you registered for. So it didn't say fail, it said pass. So you can't pass it if you dropped it. Okay. So that's why it's always a good policy to come in and check with whether it's your faculty advisor or whether it's one of your student support services advisors before you decide to drop a class or add a class. I mean, drop a class mainly. Okay. Because if you have two classes and you drop one class, now you at 50%, all right? You at the same percentage as you would be with two classes out of four, okay? So it's always a good policy if you have thinking about or have an idea of dropping your classes or some classes or a class to check with your advisor first, before doing that. Also, on the other side of that, I would mention the 150% rule, which is a rule that speaks to completion. So if your program requires 60 credits, okay, you will only be now, let's say if you kept a 2.0, that's also, a requirement to stay in satisfactory academic progress. If you have a 2.0, you keep a 2.0 and You pass it, over 67% of your classes, and you continue to get your financial aid. Now, if you, let's say if you change majors, that's just for example, right? After 2 semesters, okay? Um, Now you have, potentially 24 to 30 credits maybe, that may or may not transfer to your new major. So when that happens, you can run into this issue, which is the 150% rule. 150% means if you need 60 credits to graduate, 60 credits will make 100%. Another 30 credits will make 150%. So total, that's what you have as far as financial aid is concerned to get a completion. Okay. Uh, if you do not meet that, your financial aid will not be instated. It will not be reinstated. Once you reach that 150% maximum for a degree, you won't be able to get financial aid. Okay. So it's very important with that being said, is to, if you have any doubt about a major, it's very important to sit down with your advisor, complete the career assessment when needed. All right. But really think about what you want to major in prior to actually enrolling. Okay. Because, it's several students over the years that I've, advised who have come in and did not know what they want to major in. That's fine. And we help you figure that out through some of these tools and processes that we utilize. So, but if you think and you go through a semester and halfway through the semester or maybe after the first semester, you say, "Oh no, I don't think I want to do this anymore." You may want to go ahead and speak up then. Okay. Don't wait until another semester because those are hours that could be going to what you really want to do. Okay. So just some advice on, you know, how to mitigate, minimize, okay, issues with financial aid or any other issues academically, as advice from your academic advisor, okay? Drop ad. That's another one. You have a drop ad period. You have a drop ad prior to penalty. Okay. So if you have to drop a class, and if you could drop a class and it's not going to take you below that 67% threshold, okay, you still want to make sure you do that prior to the academic penalty date, right? Because if you drop after the academic penalty date, then that's going to hurt you, that's going to give you an F, okay? And that's going to hurt your GPA, and it will play against the 2.0 that you need to keep that satisfactory academic progress. Okay. Um, Attendance, right? You need to know what the attendance policy is, right? And I think it's a little bit different for two-day-a-week classes and 3-day-a-week classes. Okay. But you need to know what that is. You need to come and speak with your academic advisor. Okay. Um, Also, if you have an issue with your instructor, okay, I recommend that you speak with your advisor prior to trying to handle the situation by yourself. Okay. And I say that because you need to know what the policy is. All right. I've been here 8 years, and not many students read the handbook. Okay. The handbook will spell out exactly what you need to do if you want to file a grievance, how to do that, how to follow the chain of command, so on and so forth. Okay. So, you don't just jump out there and, send an email and CC the president. That's really not how that works. Okay. You need to know what the policy is. Okay. So, and moving forward, even when you do graduate, start working, is always a good policy to know the policy. Okay. So, yeah, that's another thing. I'm kind of just thinking of things, But I'm trying to give information as if we are in an advising session. Um, Transfer. If you're interested in transfer, you should, know what the transfer requirements are again, right? Understand what that particular institution uh, is looking for in a transfer student, okay? So let's say you've met the, 24-hour requirements, but then do you meet the GPA requirements, okay? Um, Understand when the application deadline is, okay? If you're looking at somewhere like Carolina, or when I say Carolina, I mean UNC Chapel Hill or NC State, typically they have the earliest application deadlines that I know of, okay? Um, in the fall, it's typically like uh September. I'm sorry, in the spring, it's in like February, right? So, but whereas you can go to Elizabeth City and they will still be taking applications maybe in, late March or April, right? So you got to look at the different schools and understand that, whereas NC State has, 30,000 plus students, Elizabeth City, it's more like seven, if that. So they have more applicants to review at state versus Elizabeth City. Okay. Um, Elizabeth City may be closer to five, I'm not sure. But yeah. So these are just some bullet points or some just some items to kind of look out for. If anybody thinks of anything else that could benefit the students in terms of advisement, please jump in. Feel free. Uh,
And
I'm
Mr.
trying to
Hardy,
think.
you had mentioned the transfer because I had a student, now this was a couple of weeks back. He had transferred from another institute, but that credit, that those credits didn't wasn't transferable here. So
I'm
my
glad you said that.
recommendation, pardon me.
I'm glad you said that because I wanted to touch on that. So the oh man, what is it called? There's at each institution, it used to be one sheet that'll show you which courses. So the courses are named differently, right? So the courses here, English 111 may be English 1100 over at ECU, right? But that's the course. And so I got a name on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it. But it's a crosswalk, really what it is, okay? And so what a crosswalk is, it shows you the equivalent, the equivalency, right? So the English 111, they'll show that is equal to that English 1100 over at ECU, for instance. Or Bio 168. Well, that's probably gonna be the same. What is it? Bio one. What is our biology? Do we know? I can't think of it right now. But it's like the general biology, right? Whatever that
Are
that
you talking about A&P, anatomy and physiology?
no, not that one. That's 168, which is probably going to be 168 over there too, just for that particular one. But it could be something different, right? So let's just say it is. All right. And the
Oh, Purnell said bio 112.
okay, yeah, 111, 112. Okay, right. So those it's named different. More times than not, it's not the same name as it is here. So if you were to look at our student, okay, if a student were to look at their uh transcript and then just look at what the requirements are, you can feel like you're not transferring any credits. Well, we're in reality, um, if you had the crosswalk, okay, and the way they have it set up now, most schools have it somewhere on their website, all right, where you can actually pull up the list or uh, put the class in and see what class is equivalent to it. When I first got here, it was pretty much a general sheet. The UGETC, that's what it is. It's the Universal General Education Transfer Credits. So that's an acronym. UGETC. And so what that is, like I said, it's a universal gen ed, general education transfer credit. Okay. And that shows you what you will go in with, what you, and then also in looking at that, you'll know what you would need. Okay. Um, that's a big tool for us. Being able to show, okay, actually walk through students trying to do specific programming in, in different institutions. Okay. So, yeah, these are some items, that we come across as advisors. Um, it's several others. Understanding, how to connect the dots with different resources on campus, knowing what a counseling department is, knowing what a tutoring department is, understanding that my battery is running low. I'm plugged up. That's interesting. But so understanding that we are supplemental. Um, and that your faculty advisor is the primary. Okay. So that's very important. Um, so it looks like my battery may go. I don't know what's going on, but if it does, I hope not. I hope it doesn't, but if it does, hopefully we've given you some information that you can use. Okay. But Mr. Powell, you take it back over because I think my battery is showing and I can't
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hardy. And there's a lot of, just to piggyback off the Mr. Hardy saying, there's a lot of resources, and I know the students use self-service to try to register themselves, which is it's just cool, it's good. But like I said, I always recommend that students go to their academic advisors because they try to put themselves in something that they may not need. Or I had one case where a student tried to get into a course. They signed up for a course, and I had to tell her that financial aid wasn't going to pay for it since it's not in her major. So, and these are some of the things, like Mr. Hardy said, that's some of the resources that we provide. We got it. The advisors, they tell you what you can take, what you better off taking. I know myself, always try to lead them into a easy, because that's a lot of students that have never been to college or don't know what the college life is all about. And that's why I always try to recommend taking a low load before they try to jump into that higher load, like take at least 12 credits, then see how you could do with, then next semester you probably could do 15 or 18. And the the advisors play an important, I see that as an important role, because I don't want to, I always recommend to that student to start off slow, take baby steps, then go off to do more, and to see, definitely like you said, see the advisors, because I always reiterate that to the students, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that sign off on them graduating.
right. So I found the plug, so I'm okay. So speaking on the like the class selection, starting out, that's a good point because when it comes to advising, it's a three-dimensional look. It's a holistic approach, right? You can't just say student did well in high school and we're gonna put them in 18 hours. No, the circumstances could have changed since then. So, now if the student has a family or a child, or children, if they're working part-time or full-time, it's an array of things that could be going on, sick family member, so on and so forth. So, you know, you want your advisor as the student, you want an advisor that's going to inquire, okay, about, how's life for you, because what they're doing is getting a better understanding of what your life looks like, and how is this going to affect, your course selection and your chances for success. Okay. Because our job is to put you in a situation that's going to be best for you to be successful. Okay. And so that's what the role of an advisor is. Um, so yeah, it's a lot of different approaches. Um, in terms of, different advisors. Some advisors are, kind of straight to the point, and but others are, a little more talkative and engaging and this type of thing, and this just like anything else, everybody doesn't do it the same way, but the goal is the same. Okay. I had a student, just for example, and then if Mr. Powell doesn't have anything, we really can close it up after this. But I had a student um, last week that came in, and the student was stressed, and he was taking 4 classes, and I talked with him and asked him what his GPA was. In high school, he's a freshman. So, and then after looking at everything and listening to him and going and looking at, his grades in Blackboard, seeing where he stood, um, looking at, the number of classes. He had 2 classes that he was really struggling in, but we didn't drop 2 because of what? Because of the 67% rule, right? That would have automatically put him in on probation. All right, next semester. All right, so we decided, we formulated a plan to where, we would drop one of his courses, uh, get him request tutoring, all right, for the remaining courses. Okay. And since then the student is doing well. So, yes, Mr. Powell, you're right. This is advising maybe the most important role at a higher ed institution when you really break it down, because without advising, you have a whole lot of students that fall through the cracks, and that directly affects your graduation and transfer rates. So, it's one of those things where, you wouldn't miss it till it's gone type of situation. Right. So, but yeah, I think that was, we wanted to do an advising workshop that had information that could be beneficial to the students. And I think this satisfies that. There's so much more we could talk about. We typically only do an hour for our workshops, but you have access to your advisors, your faculty advisor. You have access to us, this SSS advisors. So, feel free to reach out, utilize your resources. I find myself, you know, echoing that over and over again, because students, again, some, you just don't know things, right? So, but if you have resources, make sure you utilize your resources, right? That's why we're here. I don't have to be your advisor, right? If if Ms. Zollicoffer is out and I'm around here, you can come to me and ask me, or if it's Mr. Powell or Ms. Porch, you can go to them. Okay. So utilize your resources. That's what we're here for. All right. Like I say, we're here to put you in the best situation to be successful. Okay. Mr. Powell, you got anything else?
No, sir. You hit the nail right on the head with that.
Ms. Zolikoff, you have anything?
No, sir, I don't have anything else to add. Actually, I do have something else to add,
Okay.
or to at least to reiterate.
Okay.
Make sure that when what we do, we have different forms that we use in order to help assist you in advising you correctly. You are privy to all that information because it's all about you. So I'm sure some of you know about your evals and your course completion guides and things like that. We can show you how to access most of that information so that you're in the know. Because the more you know about your plan, your course plan, the better you are informed about how to proceed with the things that you have going on. Always ask for documentation that has to do with you. And that's it, because the more that you see what we see about you, the better you understand about yourself. And it can also help you as far as your plans and what your next steps are. That's it.
All right, thank you, Ms. Zolikoff. Ms. Port, you have anything you want to add?
No, I think y'all pretty much hit everything on the nose today. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank
For all the students that attended, we want to thank you guys for coming. You know, hopefully you can leave with something that's beneficial, like I say, to, you know, mitigate anything happening negatively that's going to affect you not to graduate or you know, affect your graduation potential. Okay. So that's it. We thank you all for coming. Until the next time, please, if you know anybody that may want to join, we got these trips coming up. There may be, we don't know for sure, there may be room for a day trip to DC. I don't know yet. But everything I mentioned is solid. Okay. So bring a friend, each one bring one. Okay. Until the next time, thank you all for coming. God bless and good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Thank you, everyone. Y'all have a blessed one.
Stop the recording.